Hello everyone, and welcome to the Formula Mac channel. My name is Colin, and today I'm going to give a beginner's guide to the IMSA Sports Car Championship. IMSA stands for the International Motorsports Association, and since 1971 has been the premier American sports car series. It often is seen as inferior to the World Sports Car Championship, or what's now known as the World Endurance Championship. IMSA is one of the few series that features multi-class racing. IMSA features 4 different classes: GTP, LMP2, GTD Pro, and GTD. GTP stands for Grand Touring Prototype and features the LMDH hypercars that are also featured in the World Endurance Championship. LMP2, Le Mans Prototype 2, is the second tier of the previous top tier regulations. LMP1. It's a little bit slower than GTP. GTD Pro features GT3 cars like Corvette, Aston Martin, Porsche, Ferrari, and Mustang with pro drivers, while GTD features the likes of amateur drivers like bronze and silver rated drivers. The manufacturers in GTP feature the likes of Porsche, Cadillac, Aston Martin, BMW, Acura, and Lamborghini. All of these manufacturers are fighting for a victory at the 24 Hours of Daytona and the Manufacturers Championship. The Porsche 963 seems to be leading the way again in customer racing, just like it did back in the 60s and 70s. And with GTD, the GT3 cars, Aston Martin, BMW, Corvette, Lamborghini, Lexus, Porsche, Mustang, Mercedes, and Ferrari are all competing in the Grand Touring Daytona category. Now, the 24 Hours of Daytona is the leading race in this series, where they're racing 24 hours straight, switching drivers every few hours or so. And they're all competing for the highest endurance victory in America. Now, throughout the manufacturers, balance of performance is done to help keep the cars closer together and to promote better racing. Now, these measures may be done like adding weight, restricting the intake, or adding boost to the turbos of car, because all of these cars have different horsepower and they drive differently in some way, so they will be better at different tracks. And the balance of performance is supposed to create closer racing and better racing for us to watch. Now let's talk about the point system. Unlike F1, there are actually points to be scored in qualifying. There are 35 points for pole position, 32 points for second place, 30 for third, 28 for fourth, 26 for fifth, and then it goes down by 1 all the way until 30 when you get 1 point. And even if you score 31st, you will get a point also for qualifying. In the race, for first place, you get 350 points. For second, 320. For third, 300. Fourth, 280. Fifth, 260. And then it goes down by 10 for the increments. And you still get points for finishing 31st. It's just 10 points instead of 1. And now, just like how there are multiple classes, there are also multiple championships. And there are drivers' championships, teams' championships, and manufacturers' championships. The drivers' championships is separate based on each class, and the drivers are scored based on where they finish in each car. And some drivers may drive multiple cars in the season, and that will still count towards the drivers' championship. But the team's championship is all of the drivers in one car, so you can use that championship based on the car, because it will be less confusing for you, because some teams will end up using 4 drivers during the endurance rounds and 3 drivers everywhere else, or 2 drivers everywhere else, and it gets confusing there. So if you use the team's championships, it's a much better option. Now, overall, you can look at the Manufacturers Championship. And that one is scored based on where the fastest car finishes. So if two of the same cars finish first and second, like two Porsches to get a 1-2, the points will only count towards the first car that finishes. And the second manufacturer would still earn the second place points, even if they finished third. It's just where they finished. They were the second manufacturer to finish, so they'd earn the second place points. Makes sense to me. On top of all that, there is an entire championship separate. Maybe not entirely separate, but it's within the championship. It consists of the long endurance races, the Rolex 24 at Daytona, the Sebring 12 hours, Watkins Glen 6 hours, Indianapolis 6 hours, and the Petit Le Mans 10 hours. All of those races are really long, and they have a different point system therein. So 1, 2, 3, 4 is a 5, 4, 3, 2 point scoring basis. So if you score first, you get 5 points. And in all of these races, points are scored multiple times within the race. At Daytona, you get points at 6 hours, 12 hours, 18 hours, and the finish. At Sebring, 4 hours, 8 hours in the finish. Watkins Glen and Indy are 3 hours in the finish. And at Road Atlanta, it's 4 hours, 8 hours in the finish. So in the drivers, teams, and manufacturers championship all still run within the Endurance Cup as well. But it is just those 5 races. Just those 5 races consist of the Endurance Cup. Now let's take a look at the calendar. The juicy calendar. At the time of recording this, the 24 hours at Daytona is right around the corner. And that's the first race of the season and also the first race of the Endurance Cup. And in March is the 12 hours of Sebring, another part of the Endurance Cup. And now with the separation of classes, the GTP and GTD classes will go to Long Beach, and GTD Pro will join them at Laguna Seca a month later. Now, on the streets of Detroit, it's GTP and GTD Pro. And then another month later is another part of the Endurance Cup at Watkins Glen, 6 hours. And then LMP2, GTD Pro, and GTD take a trip to Canada. And then one of the most popular tracks in America is Road America, August 3rd, the IMSA Sports Car Weekend. And then the classic GT3 race is VIR a few weeks later. And then to finish out the season is the 2 races left in the Endurance Cup, the 6 hours at Indianapolis, right on my birthday, and the 10 hours of Road Atlanta to finish off the season. It is looking to be a really good season with Aston Martin coming into play into the sports car prototype series again. It's nice to see that. Hopefully Cadillac will come through and make a fight with Porsche. Or Porsche will dominate again, just like they have, forever. So we shall see in the GT3 category with Mustang and Corvette going at it in the same regulations. This is quite interesting. So we shall see again. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, be sure to like the video and subscribe if you haven't already, and dislike the video if you did so. I hope you didn't though, but I will see you next time. Peace.